Am I the asshole for not cleaning while I cook just to prove a point to my husband? I've always cleaned as I cook so that when it gets to the end of the meal, there's minimal mess. My husband is the opposite. When he cooks, it's like a bomb went off. I've encouraged him to clean as he cooks, and if we're doing a big meal, holiday meal together, I often make sure to assign him that role. Like most people, one of us cooks, the other one cleans up. I am the better cook, so I cook like 80% of the time. He gets an easy cleanup. I'm busier than usual at work, so he's had to step up. Whenever he's done, the kitchen is a mess. I don't even get how it happens. There will be oil splatters untouched, stuff drying to dishes, peels and meat. I'm not about to let food sit out overnight, so after I'm done eating I'll start the process and won't get to really relax much. Last week I asked if he could please try cleaning as he cooks. He told me the rule is one person cooks, the other person cleans. I said, I get that, but you're leaving me with a huge mess every night. He said, I just don't have the time to clean up when I'm focused on cooking, knowing full well I'll see him scrolling on his phone. I just got so fed up, so on Sunday I made a big pot of chili. I didn't clean up as I worked. When I was done, I served him, sat down, enjoyed a beer and dinner. When he finally went into the kitchen, he said, "What the fuck? Why is there such a mess?" I said that I was too busy paying attention to the chili to clean up. I started to get ready for bed. He was like, "You're just going to leave this here?" And I said yes. He said he would have to wake up extra early to clean up and that he had to be at work earlier than usual and was supposed to play a game with his friends later that night, so could I just clean up? I said no, I cooked, so he has to clean. 2 days later he's still pissy with me because he ended up not being able to game and told me that he didn't get enough sleep and was exhausted at work. Not to be too snarky, but it's not like he's a surgeon, because I had to prove a point to him. I told him that nothing else seemed to get his attention, and I feel pretty justified. He told me I was being a smug asshole about it and it was childish. Am I the asshole, or is he? Edit. A couple of people asked how we can make so many dishes, it should take 15 minutes, etc. We don't have a dishwasher, there's no room for one, so everything has to be done by hand. Additionally, doing the dishes means cleaning up the counters and stovetop and sweeping the floor, taking out the trash if need be. When I make chili, it's a process starting with dried chilies that I toast, soak, seed, pulverize, etc. Then there's cooking the dried beans, then there's the onions and garlic and the peels, any other veggies, seeding tomato, cans of tomato, grinding the spices, etc. Then there's grating cheese for the top, etc. It definitely left a ton of dishes and other stuff behind. Edit 2. Sorry guys, I was reading comments as I was at work. I thought this would get like 10 comments tops. So another thing that comes up is, whoever cooks also cleans, but since I cook most of the time, I just don't see that as being also fair to me. I'll end up spending almost every single day after work. I've been ending work at 6 or 7 some days lately, cooking and cleaning. If I had him cook more I would definitely start to gain weight and then we'd have another issue altogether. HAHAHAHA. Final edit. Thanks for all the feedback everyone. Oh, and sorry to the people on Am I the Angel, for the humble braggy way I mentioned I make chili. Didn't mean to make you guys feel inferior because I toasted a few chilies. LMAO. Oh, it's so fishy because she used dried beans. Makes sense why people are asking for my recipe if the concept of toasting chilies and using dried beans is so novel. LMAO.
Not the asshole. In my opinion, the whole "I cook, you clean" should only be applicable when the one who cooks also cleans along the way, and the one who cleans does the dishes, etc. after dinner. It does not work when someone takes advantage and leaves the entire mess for the other to clean up. It sounds like you tried to ask him multiple times, and were considerate, but he did not listen. In my opinion, you did nothing wrong, you just did what he expected you to tolerate from him. Hope this is a wake-up call for him. He cannot treat you like his maid just because he can't clean up his own damn mess. Good for you for standing up. Edit. Holy crap, thank you all for the updates.
Given that you did communicate and he chose not to listen, it's a not the asshole. You do need to follow up on this with a heart-to-heart so that he understands that this is how you feel every night he cooks. I would also suggest that you try cleaning up together. Marriage is a team effort and I think this makes a good team project. Many couples find that cleaning up together works well for them and you may find it works better for you than your current system. Edited for clarity. Not the asshole. He really needed to see that by cleaning a bit as you cook, you were saving him a lot of time cleaning. His one-time inconvenience of you not doing so is what you experience every single time he cooks. TBH, I think he needs a few more times cleaning it all up to get him to understand, since he is still throwing a tantrum rather than realizing he has been doing this to you repeatedly. Not the asshole. Seems like he was happy to do the whole, one cooks, one cleans, thing before because he had it so good. I fail to see how he could be exhausted from having to tidy up the kitchen afterwards. You tried asking nicely because the situation was unfair, he didn't listen. You did do it to prove a point, but in this instance I see nothing wrong with it.
The "I cook, you clean" rule is such BS. It completely favors lazy people. My wife is the same as your husband, and we had to switch to "I cook and clean today, you cook and clean tomorrow" rule, because she absolutely destroyed the kitchen every time she makes dinner. Not the asshole. He got a single taste of what you put up with every other day. If I was you, I'd keep doing it until you negotiate a new system. Not the asshole at all. As a fellow clean-as-you-go cook, you were far more patient than I would have been.
Not the asshole. He was smug asshole all along. Now he's offended by having to follow his own rules. Too bad for him.
Listen, I don't want to make a huge deal here and cause drama, but it's clear we're married to the same man and he's living a double life. We need to figure this out. We need to confront him. Let me know what day is good for you. Edit. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You tried explaining. He didn't listen, even though TBH, this concept is really not that hard and a non-asshole would have rolled with your request in the first place. You showed him the error of his thinking with an extremely low stakes, for him, but illustrative situation. Sounds like he just doesn't want to carry his share of the weight. Not the asshole. You just did to him what he constantly does to you. If I were you, I'd keep doing it until he cleans as he cooks. If he doesn't, I don't see why you should stop. It's equal now, it wasn't equal before.
Not the asshole. You requested something pretty simple. Instead of looking at the situation and seeing how his actions affected you, he was just focused on himself and the fact that he couldn't game with the fellas. I would do this every single time I cooked until he actually got the point.
Not the asshole. He said it himself, you are proving a point. Hopefully that means he concedes the point now, as well as the logic. Ask him if you have the right. Be retroactively pissy to catch up with him about the dozens of times he did the same thing to you.
Not the asshole. How bad inefficient is he at washing dishes that he ended up being sleep deprived and missed gaming because he had to clean up after you cooked chili? I mean, FFS. Unless you manage to spill tomato sauce on every inch of the kitchen and let it dry, it can't possibly have taken that long to wash a load of dishes and wipe the counters off. Not the asshole. Sometimes people don't realize how bad it is till they have to deal with it themselves.
Well, you would not need to prove your point if he had listened to you. He brought it on himself 100%. Not the asshole. Edit, missing, not. Not the asshole. This is fairness. If he wants you to clean as you go, he needs to do this. He also needs to grow up and be a real adult.
Not the asshole. He didn't listen to reason, so he needed to learn the lesson somehow.
Not the asshole. He didn't get to play his game with his friends. Welcome to the real world, jackass. Andy Samberg. He cooked a meal once, and expected you to clean it up. I get that this has probably happened multiple times. I just mean the one case you presented in the story. So you just turned the tables on him. What a jerk. He's got to grow up, and realizing that being an adult is just one big chore.
Not the asshole. Serves him right. Also, if you're cooking and he's supposed to clean, don't clean as you go. That's not your deal with him. You spoiled him and are now regretting it. Not the asshole. You had asked him earlier to clean while cooking, which he didn't. Secondly, you expected from him the same that you did for him. And your reasoning for not helping with the cleanup was what he always told you in the past. Also, he wanted to rest so that he can play games? Seriously, as an adult, this is his reason for not doing his assigned task? Had he needed rest cause he needed to go to work early the next day, you should have helped him. But he needs to learn.
Definitely not the asshole. I have the exact same situation. I always clean while cooking, it's just nicer that way. My former roomie is like your husband, just isn't. My father is also like this, and now during the pandemic I am living at home. So I really feel you. I think it's good you stand up for yourself, and if your husband won't take the time to change or even notice his behavior, he deserves a bit extra cleanup time.
Not the asshole. He learnt his lesson there.
I was initially gonna say YTA, because if the established system is one cooks, the other cleans, then by cleaning as you cook all you're doing is his job for him, and then getting upset about how he's not doing your job for you. However, the fact that he got pissy about having to clean up a bigger mess than normal despite the established system completely changes this to a not the asshole in my mind, and makes me think he's ta. If he's fine leaving a big mess for you to clean, he should either be equally as fine with you leaving just as big a mess for him to clean, or leave less of a mess himself.
Not the asshole. I used to be like your husband. I would cook, make a mess, and deal with it later, and hate dealing with it later because it was a huge effort. Then my fiancé moved in. He cleans as he cooks. He started cleaning while I cooked. Then I realized how much easier it was to tidy something away as soon as I'd used it. Now I clean as I cook, even when I'm home alone. Genuinely can't believe how much time, effort I used to have to put into cleaning.
Not the asshole only if you put the chili-laden spoon directly on the countertop and completely missed the spoon rest. He will spend more time cleaning that than anything, trust me, I know. Source. I am a husband that got fussed at for not using the spoon rest lol.
I have no idea why so many people choose to stay in marriages where their partners actively take advantage of them. If my husband tried to constantly trick me into doing his share of the work, he wouldn't be my husband. This isn't cute. This is a huge character flaw.
Just help each other clean up. The I cooked, so you clean. You cooked, so I clean, sucks and you both feel you like lose. No one likes cleaning up after someone else either. Just help each other.
You could see if he gets the message. If he reverts, just start taking photos of the difference between after you're done and after he's done. Picture is worth 1,000 words.
Not the asshole. And I'm living for this. Please keep it up.
Not the asshole. You followed his rules. You cook, he cleans. Edit, and not such a good cook that I can clean while cooking, but I can clean up a bit immediately after cooking. It takes 2 minutes. Not the asshole. So often we read, hear about, see and experience this same unbalanced relationship between typically male and female partners. It's like they truly are blind to how much effort women tend to put into every task. All we're asking for is some awareness and reciprocity, and the trend seems to be acting like they deserve a gold star and marching band for doing a basic task. I know this is a very broad stroke statement and typically Reddit only sees the bad. I'm positive there are healthy, contributing partners in all different dynamics. It's just that, it's like all these guys are lazy and unaware in the same way. It's so tiring to always carry the heavier side in the division of labor.
Not the asshole. An appropriate response from you, and I like it.
Not the asshole. You're entitled to feel smug if he finally understood what you've been trying to tell him. He's just mad because he knows you had a point and doesn't want to admit it.
Not the asshole. He needs to learn to clean while he cooks or get used to cleaning up after you.
Lol, pretty sure every married couple has had this argument. Not the asshole. Your hubby sounds like a jerk.
Not the asshole. Heaven forbid he does his part and misses gaming with his friends. Is he 12? No? Then he can damn well clean the kitchen in the house that he lives in. If I sound heated, it's because I too have a gamer significant other that refuses to clean because he told his friends he would play with them.
Not cleaning as you go is a hallmark of bad unorganized cook. Not the asshole. Your husband needs to learn.
Not the asshole. You're my hero.
Marriage seems great.
Everyone sucks here. The terms of your kitchen rules are a little rough to begin with. I don't think it's ever a good idea to set a huge divide like that with cooking, cleaning for those exact reasons. Your husband sounds pretty childish in how he reacted, but it also sounds like you decided to take your revenge with a particularly messy meal. Why don't you try helping each other out while cooking, cleaning so you get to spend the time together and make something fun out of it?
No assholes here. You mentioned you're a much better cook. Keep in mind that it is much harder to juggle everything involved with cooking when you've had less practice. For him, he might be working just as hard as you even though he isn't cleaning at the same time. It's a tough time right now. I hope you two can smooth things out and not be annoyed at each other over cooking and cleaning. Not that any of us have that completely figured out winking face.
Just change the rule to whoever cooks also cleans up the mess. Had to do the same with my husband because we had the exact same issue as you guys. Now I don't care how big a mess he makes, as it's not my problem anymore. And on the flip side, I can enjoy my clean kitchen when I cook and don't have to go back to clean afterwards. Not the asshole. I remember having this discussion, fight repeatedly with ex-housemates and also ex-husband. Ex-housemate was a budding chef then, now fully blown chef with own restaurant, so all the pots and implements were used for his creations. This was when I distinctly developed a dislike of recipes that required multiple steps or double cooking. As you can imagine, my efforts were usually one pot wonder's winking face. I hate that Reddit jumps straight to the "not the asshole and you should leave their ass" judgments, but I do have to confess that I love that now if I don't clean up, I only have me to blame. Grin.
Not the asshole. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. He clearly indicated he would rather the cleaner be responsible for cleaning everything, so that applies both ways. I would maybe revisit it with him at some point soon, like, now that you see what an extra effort it is, would you prefer to switch to a system where we both clean as we cook? But don't back down.
Cleaning as you cook is the best, not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You gave him a taste of his own medicine. Difference is, he's saying that you poisoned him.
Not the asshole. My roommate is this way and it's the reason I am moving the millisecond that our lease ends. It might sound dramatic, but having a 24/7 stream of dishes pouring out of the sink, molding food, disgusting crust that has dried on counters, and no dishes for you to cook on yourself is the worst. Not the asshole, but it doesn't sound like it solved your problem. He's still going to leave all the cleaning for you.
Not the asshole. I have difficulty with cleaning as I cook, so my kitchen is usually a mess by the time I'm done. I also insist on cleaning the kitchen by myself when I make such messes so no one else gets saddled with it. Maybe that's what your husband should do.